You've sent out 200 applications, maybe more. Your resume is polished, your cover letters are customized, and your inbox? Silent. Meanwhile, someone you used to work with, someone who honestly wasn't as good as you, just landed at your dream company. They knew someone. That's what they said. Here's the thing. That wasn't luck. It wasn't unfair. It was strategy. And today, I'm giving you the exact playbook. 70% of jobs are filled before they're ever posted. That's not a rumor. That's not an estimate. That's the data. Which means while you're refreshing LinkedIn, hoping for callbacks, the real hiring is happening somewhere else entirely. In conversations you're not part of. But here's the good news. You can become part of those conversations. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how. Let's start with what the hidden job market actually is. It's every position that gets filled without ever hitting a job board. Think about it from the employer's perspective. Posting a job costs time and money. Reviewing hundreds of applications? Even more. And most of those applicants aren't qualified anyway. So what do hiring managers actually do? They ask around. They ping their network. Hey, do you know anyone good for this role? And just like that, a job that was never posted gets filled. The candidate who got it, they didn't apply, they were recommended. According to LinkedIn's own workforce data, 70% of unadvertised roles in 2026 were filled through referrals. 70%. Here's another number that should wake you up. Referrals are 4 times more likely to receive a job offer than people who apply through a company website. 4 times, same job, same qualifications, different entry point. That's the difference between getting in the door and getting ghosted. And here's why employers love referrals. Traditional recruitment costs between $4,000 and $18,000 per hire. Referrals? About $1,000. Plus, referral hires happen 25% faster, 29 days versus 39 days. Hiring managers get to move on with their lives. So the system isn't broken, it's just not designed for you. Yet. But we're going to change that. The first thing you need to understand is that networking isn't about asking for jobs. It's about being remembered when jobs exist. Most people only reach out when they need something. That's why their outreach feels desperate. Because it is. But the people who access the hidden job market? They've been building relationships all along. When the opportunity opens, they're already top of mind. So here's your first actionable step. Audit your network. Right now, list 50 people you've worked with in the past 5 years. Not just your best friends, former colleagues, old managers, people from that project 3 years ago, the barista who became a product manager. Once you have that list, you might want to reach out to 5 people per week. Not with an ask, just a genuine check-in. Hey, how have you been? That's it. No pitch. No looking for opportunities. Just being a human who remembers people exist. You'd be shocked how rare that is. LinkedIn's 2026 research found that nearly 80% of people feel unprepared to find a job. 80%. Most people are winging it, which means the bar is low. If you have an actual strategy, not just spray and pray applications, you're already ahead. Now let's talk about the warm introduction. This is the single most powerful tool in your hidden job market toolkit. Here's how it works. You see a company you're interested in. You don't apply, not yet. Instead, you look at who you know who might know someone there. Then you send this message. Hey Sarah, I saw AdMe Corp is growing their product team. Do you know anyone there I could learn from about the role? Notice what you're not doing. You're not asking for a job. You're not asking them to refer you. You're asking to learn. That's easy to say yes to. Because here's the reality of LinkedIn. 6 people get hired through the platform every minute. That's over 8,000 daily. The competition is fierce. Applications per open job have doubled since 2022. Every posted role now gets hundreds of nearly identical resumes. You're competing in a crowd. But when you come in through a referral, you skip the pile entirely. You land on the hiring manager's desk with a sticky note that says, "Good person, talk to them." And that makes all the difference, because hiring managers are busy. They don't have time to evaluate everyone. They evaluate the ones their network vouches for. So here's strategy number 2. Target the hiring manager directly. Not HR, not the Apply Now button. The actual human who will manage the role. Find them on LinkedIn. Look up the team. Figure out who leads it. Then send them a 3-sentence message. Here's the structure. Sentence 1, what you do. Sentence 2, one specific value you'd add to their team. Sentence 3, and ask for 15 minutes of their time. That's it. No novel. No life story. Hiring managers scan messages in seconds. Give them a reason to respond, not a reason to scroll past. Now, some of you are thinking, this feels uncomfortable. Reaching out to people I don't know, that's not me. I get it. But here's what you're really saying. I'd rather stay invisible than feel awkward for 30 seconds? That's a bad trade. The people who land jobs through referrals aren't necessarily more talented. They're just more willing to put themselves out there. That's the difference. Remember, referral hires take 29 days. Website applicants? 39 days. 10 extra days of anxiety, silence, and refreshing your email. So here's strategy number 3, become referral worthy. This is the long game, and it's the most important one. Think about it. Who do you refer? People who made you look good, people who delivered, people who trust not to embarrass you. So consider making introductions for others. Share industry insights. Be visibly helpful. When you give before you take, people remember. Post on LinkedIn about your work. Not humble brags, actual insights. What you're learning, what surprised you, what you do differently next time. A single LinkedIn post can surface you to hiring managers who weren't even actively looking. Visibility creates opportunity. Silence creates nothing. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This is unfair. Networking benefits people with existing connections. The system is rigged. And look, there's truth to that. People with privilege often have bigger networks. That's real. But networking is also a learnable skill. You don't need to have gone to an elite school. You don't need rich parents. You need to be intentional about every professional relationship you form. Every person you work with is a potential node in your network. Treat them well. Stay in touch. Be the person people want to help. If you found this useful, consider subscribing. We break down career strategies like this every week. Now let's keep going. Here's something most people miss. The hidden job market isn't static. Roles open and close constantly. The key is being ready when they do. Hiring managers don't always know they need someone until suddenly they do. Budget opens up. Someone quits. A new project launches. When that happens, they don't post a job. They reach out to the people they already know. Or they ask their team, do you know anyone good? Your job is to be the name that comes up, not through desperation, through consistent, genuine, value-adding presence in people's professional lives. So here's your homework. This week, reach out to 5 people from your past. No ask, just reconnect. Hey, thinking of you, how's it going? Do that every week for 3 months. You might want to set a recurring reminder. By the end, you'll have reconnected with 60 people. That's a network. And here's the beautiful thing. Most of those people will be happy to hear from you, because nobody does this. Everyone's too scared or too busy. When you're the one who reaches out, just to connect, not to take, you stand out. You become memorable. That's the whole game. One more thing. When someone helps you, when they make an introduction, when they refer you, always close the loop. Always. Send them an update. Hey, I talked to your contact. Great conversation. Here's what came of it. This builds trust. It makes them want to help again. People who close the loop get more referrals. It's not complicated, it's just rare. Be the person who actually follows through. Now let's talk about timing. Because the hidden job market has rhythms just like the public one. January and September are hiring surges. New budgets, new fiscal years, new initiatives. That's when hiring managers are most receptive to conversations. So consider starting your outreach before these surges. Build relationships in November for January hiring. Connect in July for September roles. Mark these dates in your calendar now. Treat networking like a campaign, not a Hail Mary when you're desperate. Strategy beats panic every time. Let me give you a real example. A woman named Priya had been job hunting for 6 months. Hundreds of applications. Crickets. Then she changed tactics. She made a list of 25 people she'd worked with. She reached out to 3 per week. Just catching up. Within 6 weeks, one of those conversations turned into an introduction. That introduction became an interview. That interview became an offer. The job was never posted. The role didn't exist on any job board. Priya found it because she stopped playing the game everyone else was playing. That's the hidden job market. It rewards strategy over effort, connection over volume, quality over quantity. So let me summarize what you should consider doing this week. First, make your list of 50 past colleagues, managers, collaborators. Second, reach out to 5. No ask, just reconnect. How have you been? That's literally it. Third, identify 3 companies you're interested in. Don't apply. Find someone who might know someone. Ask for the warm introduction. Fourth, post something on LinkedIn this week, not about job hunting, about your work, what you're learning. Share value first. Fifth, close the loop on any outstanding favors. Someone introduced you to someone? Update them. Gratitude compounds over time. That's the hidden job market playbook. It's not complicated, but it requires consistency, and most people won't do it. Which means if you actually put in the work, you're already ahead. The game isn't fair, but it's winnable. Now go play it. I'll see you next week. And if you're new here, subscribe for more career cheat codes that actually work. Until then, go make something happen.